Salut, David Arlen here. Welcome to this new lesson in which we're going to talk about a key element to improvisation. It's something that we often forget because of this. This is often a limitation, and as much as I love the instrument, sometimes it can get in the way of the real message that is behind any improvisation or composition. There is a message, there should be a message behind every musical idea that you share with others, whether it's to express a feeling or a story or whatever it is. When you're expressing something musically, you are actually participating actively in what music should be. Music is a language, and without a story behind it, then it can still be cool, but it's only appealing to certain people. Maybe the ones who know about the instrument and know that it's what you're playing is really technically interesting, but behind every impactful musical idea, I think there's a story. And today we're going to talk about one of the elements, or I should say the element that makes an improvisation interesting. And it's not the number of licks that you know, it's not the amount of theory that you acquired, it's not even the number of hours that you spent on the instrument that's going to make an improvisation impactful, but it's your ability to develop ideas. When I'm doing this video right now, I have this exercise this mental exercise that is happening in my brain as I talk to you, where I'm trying to not do any cuts, any edits. And so I'm anticipating what I'm going to say, and I try to bring you from the intro to the video to the end without any cuts in a very smooth way, so that at the end of the video you will have learned something useful for your music. It's exactly the same thing with improv. You need to learn to develop things, to go from one idea to the other smoothly without jumping from one idea to the other unsmoothly. And that's the whole point. I wanted to show you what a non-developed improvisation would be, to compare it with a developed improvisation, but I realized that once you start learning how to develop your ideas, it's very hard to improvise without development. It's almost second nature. So I'm not going to show you what an undeveloped improvisation sounds like, but hopefully you will get a better idea of what a developed improv is. I'm going to try to improvise a little bit here on my instrument, regardless of the key, regardless of the color, the mode used. I don't even know what I'm going to play, but I'm going to try to really develop something, and then we'll talk about it. That was developed. There were some ideas, multiple ideas, but I didn't jump from one idea to the other. I tried to really smoothly bring you from one idea to the other. It was slow in this case, but it doesn't have to be slow. Development has nothing to do with speed, but it has everything to do with your thought process, where you're going. And you need to know where you're going, and you need to bring the listener to that place in a aggressive way. You don't want to jump from one idea to the other. You want the listener to feel like he's participating to your music. How is that done? Well, it's done with a lot of different elements that you find in speech. In this particular video, I'm trying to share with you an idea. And I'm not going to just throw the idea at you. I started my video by saying, "Salut, David Arlen here," and I gave you a brief explanation of what I was going to talk to you about, and I'm using some pauses in my speech so that you get a chance to, relate to the idea that I'm sharing with you instead of going back and watching the video again. That means that I might repeat some of the elements, reminding you that we are indeed talking about development, and all these things are part of my speech. Those are tools that are making you not only the viewer, but almost participating to this video. Your mind is actively engaged, I hope, in what I'm telling you right now. and you're following what I'm telling you, because I'm really taking it slow. Same with music. You need to remember that your musical mind is going much faster than the listener's mind. And it has nothing to do with the appreciation that the listener has with your music. It's just the way it is. You already know the hours spent on the instrument, the way that you relate to the chords you're playing over, the musical idea you want to share. You already know all that. The listener has no idea. You have to take the listener like you would take a kid, like you would explain something to a kid, very slowly, very gradually. How do you do that? Just by doing it. Let's take a short example. Here's a short lick that I'm going to play. I like to associate with every musical idea that I have a little story. In this case, for example, it could be I'm describing to you, I'm setting the stage to a story. There is a little house in the woods. Now I want you to have a better picture of that little house. I want to describe to you the color of the roof of the house. So I'm going to add an extra detail. Some details. I repeated some elements. You can see that this idea, the second idea, is in the same area of the fretboard. It uses some of the same key notes, but I am adding a little bit. I might be adding some notes, extra notes. Or I might be telling you there's a little house in the wood, but I have a little stutter. That's a great way to develop something with stuttering. Instead of saying there's a house in the woods, I might have a little stutter. Or I might be telling you that there is a house in the wood really upbeat, or really tired and really depressed. All these things can be tools that you use to take a sentence, a musical idea, and revamp it, develop it in a new way. That's one thing that you can do. Anything that you think about doing in your actual speech, you can apply that to music. Stuttering, accents, speed or lack of speed, all these things can be used to develop an idea in a different way. Another important aspect about learning how to develop ideas is to take your time and to gradually take the listener from one aspect of your improv to the other. For instance, let's say that the point that I want to make is this in my lead. That's the ultimate point that I really want to convey to you. I'm not going to start with that idea right away. I'm not going to say right away. I'm going to first prepare you to receive that. So how do I do that? Well, usually when I jump into a conversation with someone, I don't go full blast and tell him my opinion right away. I get to know the person, I introduce myself, I gradually slip into the conversation instead of jumping in the conversation. So if we think about how that's done in the real world, I might say, hi, I'm David, and I listen, a lot of listening. And then once I hear something that is, that I might go into, like if someone talks about guitar and I know about guitar, I want to jump in the conversation, I'm not going to say, oh, I play guitar and this, that. No. If he says something about guitar, I might say, that's really cool. How long have you been playing? Show interest in the listener. And same with music. Seduce the listener first. Don't go full speed with the point that you want to make. If that's the point you want to make. Gradually slip in. For example, a lot of listening to the backing track at first, so a lot of space, and then you gently blend your voice with the voice of the people who are conversing, the backing track or the band. So a lot of listening, and then you gently get in. Kind of test the waters, just a few sentences. You're not trying tons of ideas. You have one idea. You kind of test the waters. It's going to build your confidence too. You're going to feel a little bit more comfortable to talk to these people. In the back of my mind, I know where I'm going. I'm going towards that idea, but not yet. First, I'm developing. That's how it's done. I hope you find this lesson inspiring. Always remember that music is not just muscles moving and impressive, fast things. It's about communicating a story. If you take every musical idea as a story to be developed, to be shared with others, your music is going to go from here to, I can't see it. It's off the frame of the video. Honestly, remember that music is a language to be shared. You've got a story. It's your story, not Steve Vai's story. Your story, that's the one I want to hear. That's what everybody wants to hear. Don't short sell yourself. Practice development. Say what you have to say, and I want to hear it. Thanks for watching this. In order to help you get more comfortable with development, I recorded 3 different improvisations. 3 different improvs that I had tabbed out very accurately in Guitar Pro 6, Guitar Pro 5, and a PDF file with the backing tracks. You can get those 3 tabbed solos, developed solos, in the Smooth Jazz backing track number 2. This is the second pack for Smooth Jazz on my website, guitarplayback.com. You're going to get 10 backing tracks. 3 of those backing tracks come with some high quality videos with developed improv, the tabs, so that you can learn how to develop and get in my mind, see how I develop things, and then use that to develop your own improvisation. This was a long video, but it was really enjoyable for me. I hope you enjoy watching it. Remember, a new video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today is Wednesday, so you will get this Friday. No, you won't. You'll get a next video Friday. I get lost. That's what happens when you don't develop your... I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, salut.